come on now. After what we've seen today, the things that Lou has read, the things that folks have posted, it is very clear that this is standard American behavior. Trump's statement that was read today, like well, we didn't know about it, but we did it up. Biden could have said it. Obama could have said it. Any president could have said it. That is standard American behavior. I don't know what they did or what they said to Trump to make him kind of fall in line for this night, but I just think it's happened. But I'm okay if no one agrees with me. I am not going to troll. I'm not going to cuss anyone out. I'm not going to call anyone names tonight. Okay, so thank you for being good. Good. I'm being good.
May I speak, Luke?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the number one issue, the number one loser in all of this has to be Iran. You have, nuclear sites being targeted, economic collapse due to sanctions, domestic unrest, regional influence within the region, Syria, Iraq, weakening. Then you have Israel. Israel's not, off the bandwagon of problems. Right now, we have a situation in Gaza. They're in war with innocent Palestinians right now, right? And they're the bad guys. You've got proxies by Hezbollah and Houthis. You've got civilian casualties in Gaza. You've got economic pressure. 20% of this, 30% of its GDP is down, right? And you've got more isolation in terms of global partners such as the United States, Spain, and America going against the prolonged war in Gaza, and now in Iran, right? Which majority of Americans disagree with. Then, the third player that nobody seems to be talking about is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has the second largest oil deposits in the world, right? If these oil refineries are targeted by Iranian proxies such as the Houthis or Iran themselves, right? Oil prices could be $125 per barrel, which means a gallon you're going to have to pay an average American.
Can we let him finish, please? He's making a point.
The average American, right? And we're all, majority of individuals on Clubhouse are average Americans, let's be honest, statistically speaking, right? They're going to be losing. Because imagine, you going into a gas station and you already having issues with unemployment. You already having issues to feed your family. And now gas prices are $10 a gallon. How are you going to survive? Food prices will then go up because of transport. Electricity prices will go up. Basic life, as you know it, will be harder. So we need to understand, how is the normal American going to survive? How are the veterans, right, who just literally just came back from Iraq and Afghanistan, gonna be funneled into a new war with Iran, which is a totally different kind of beast? These guys have precision missiles. We've seen it when they struck Israel, one of the most secure places in the world with an iron dome. If Israel strikes Iran, which has done, Iran has every legitimate right, since they do not have anything to lose as of now, to strike any U.S. embassies, to strike all the oil refineries in the Gulf regions, and that alone would suffocate the U.S. economy, the world economy, the the normal day American would suffer. Forget about Iran, forget about Syria. We're talking about America, a country that you care about. So I live in Houston.
Alright, hold on, brothers. Hold on, real quick,
so everybody's gonna be affected by this, whether you like it or not.
and then I'm gonna play this clip of the updates, what's going on.
But all I'm saying, already there's poverty. Already there's
Wait, let's not do all that. Wait, hold on, bro.
no, there's poverty, sir. There's poverty in this room. Yesterday,
to the topic, bro. I don't talk about no poverty, bro.
Look, I'm gonna let my take my day, brother. Right.
Yeah, how are you talking about poverty with thousands of dollars worth of art in your PTR? I don't understand.
But
I know where that
I went to a gallery.
I know where that is.
Let's move on.
Yo, shut my don't let me quickly land.
Hey, Brian, bro, anybody come on stage, I'm shooting y'all trolling. If all you niggas bring us on stage is ad-lib, I'm shooting you. I'm not doing it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bro, no, thank you, brother. The conversation over. We're gonna reset the room.
So you know what? Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm gonna go back to the. You guys want to listen. This is not.
Mashallah.
Alright. That's what's like. We'll never succeed. But
No, he didn't.
Get your funky ass down. Alright. Alright, real quick,
Well, that didn't take much, Lou.
so look, we let him talk for 5 minutes, and as soon as we say, alright, we're gonna move the mic, fuck you niggas. This shit's typical.
That's why I interrupted him, bro. I know that.
It don't matter. I just shoot him as soon as he said something. Alright, let me play this updated clip. Damn, my phone's freezing. Oh, give me a sec.
Hey, before we play the clip, bro, hey, we gave up the Merchant of Death for Brittany Griner.
What they gotta do with this?
He was gonna get out in a few years.
Active, bro.
He was gonna get out in a few years. We just upped the schedule. That's it. Goodness gracious.
He got out at the perfect time, though.
Wait, but this ain't got nothing to do with.
That's Russia. Russia is literally fighting. Like, Putin is not a threat.
Russia is Iran's biggest ally.
What they gotta do with the Merchant of Death? Like,
Because he in there making moves. He wanted to kill U.S. citizens.
They probably put a tracker in that man's head. Come on now.
alright, real quick. Alright, let's reset the room. Alright, I mean, it's kind of connected, but I guess. Alright, so Israel bombs Iran. We just played a clip of Benjamin Netanyahu. He said that there's not going to be another Holocaust from 80 years ago. They're proactive instead of reactive. We're not going to wait till they build the nuclear weapons. We're going to just destroy it. Trump, the White House came out and said that they don't have nothing to do with it, but they did advise them before they did the attack. They just warned that there better not be any U.S. personnel that died.
For years, the Iranian regime has called for the destruction of the state of Israel, planning and advancing concrete military plans to do so. Over the past few months, intelligence has shown that Iran is closer than ever to obtaining a nuclear weapon. This morning, the IDF began preemptive and precise strikes, targeting the Iranian nuclear program in order to prevent the Iranian regime's ability to build a nuclear bomb in the immediate time frame. We have no choice. We are operating against an imminent and existential threat. We cannot allow the Iranian regime to obtain a nuclear weapon that would be a danger to Israel and the entire world. This operation is for our right to exist here, for our future, and for our children's future. The state of Israel has the right and the obligation to operate in order to protect its people, and will continue to do so. The IDF conducted significant preparations for this operation. We are well prepared, both in defense and offense, to defend ourselves. The IDF will continue to defend the state of Israel. For years, the Iranian regime has called for the...
Someone is starving the people of Gaza.
Nothing. Iran has been
Israel took out a lot of infrastructure in Tehran. Yeah, so like Iran is going to respond. If you live in Israel or you bought tickets to go to Israel, you bought at the wrong time to get that LL flight, buddy. Yeah, they said that there could be nuclear contamination and fallout on CBS News. I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Shit. It's like a zit, you know, and it's like ants in an ant hill. Have you ever like kicked over an ant hill or sprayed a bunch of ants? Well, that's what I'm saying. It's neither good nor bad. It's just one more fucking, you know.
Response underway by the U.S. right now in light of the Israeli efforts. All right, Sam, go ahead. Thank you.
Alright, further proving my point. Okay, alright, real quick, cause you know, let's say like other people get involved, I don't know, I think the only way cause Trump is talking about keeping peace and stuff, but the only way America will get involved if our military bases get hit over there, or if our military personnel get hit, or some domestic, something happens domestically in the United States. Treat him just like the snitcher and the whistleblower that he actually is. I like to say this to you all that if I were in the position of Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan, I'd be treating him just like the spy, the whistleblower, and the snitcher that he is, and treat him with a long handle spoon, as our President Ibrahim Traore don't even try to meet with the guy, because he saw it. The only thing he's trying to do is set you up. You can't see him because you don't think through revolutionary mindset. That's all. A guy like Trump or Netanyahu, what's this guy? What's the Secretary of State? The Secretary of State. You gonna welcome him in your place? I just don't think so. I really don't think so. The trickster, he's a master deceiver. When he say no war, he coming for war. When he said peace, he coming for war. When he said war, he's trying to negotiate peace. He has reverse psychology. He's a trickster, never to be trusted. Ibrahim Traore don't trust this bastard. He met with Vladimir one day. Does Trump say my friend Vladimir? Did he say no more war and all that? And he ain't no number stirring up as much war. He can't even stop the war right in Los Angeles, right here in San Antonio, Texas. Visited the other day. He ain't got to stop no war.
A quick question.
Much confusion to control the melanated people is all he about. And pushing him some blonde hair and blue eyes up the middle. As soon as you get this through it, the more advanced you'll be in saying my.
I agree, sir. I want to ask you next.
Wait, hold on, real
It'll
quick
be
before
really
hand
quick,
goes.
Blue, I promise.
I'll let hand go.
Okay, it's a question. I just want to know, do y'all understand why Israel, who has nuclear power, and Iran, why Israel would be attacking Iran right now? And meanwhile, I want you to like rest in the fact that Israel has the complete backing of basically the Western world, specifically the U.S. Do you understand that? I want you to think about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that has been going on. I don't know why I just suddenly wanted to make sure that we all understood why this would be happening.
Are you trying to hide? What evidence do you have? Real quick. Let me set the rules real quick for the room. So, we're not doing any personal attacks. We're not doing conspiracy theories about like who controls the world and all of this. We're going to stick to the topic. We're going to talk about Trump versus.
Okay, my bad.
I'm not talking about you.
Oh.
He wasn't doing that. I put a one
someone in the chat if you're an Israeli? Is any Israelis in here? Any Israelis in the building? Okay, we got. Wait, what? Okay, let's bring some Israelis up. All right. Okay. Let's talk to the Israeli on stage. I can't read your name. Is that Ariel? Oh, that's my boy Ariel. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Okay, so Ariel is a Black American Israeli. He's from Detroit, but he moved to Israel. He moved to Israel for Aliyah. How you say that thing? Is that the right? Aliyah, yeah. He's now a Israeli citizen, and he's also an Orthodox Jew. He's a good brother. What's currently going on in Israel? And do you agree with the attacks that's going on currently?
100%. And what people are having a hard time accepting is the reason why this is going on is because when I say October 7th, I'm not talking about the October that just passed. I'm talking about October 2nd, 2001.
Yes.
The American government bombed Afghanistan, giving a horrible blow to Al Qaeda and also the Taliban. And we know for a fact that Iran is the proxy of these other little tiny people who are trying to work on a little stage. They call us also the big stage, which is not very much as America. So this is just work we have Americans, and we were to kill. I forgot to show his last name. But Mohammed, what is it called? I'm trying to look up on X right now. We just killed him in a strike. So he's on his one of his, what is his name? I'm looking for it right now.
He's the Iranian Revolutionary Guard.
Yeah.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi? No, that was Obama.
Mohammed,
Bakiri.
yeah, he's out of here.
Yeah, he's the chief of staff of Iranian Armed Forces. Yes, he got killed.
Yeah,
Quick question, Ariel.
Yes, sir.
Let him land first, bro. For you, quick questions.
But yeah, it's just war. We're going back and forth, and we already got the upper hand right now, so it's a wrap for this next.
Okay.
Are you
Hey, hold on, wait. Can we start out how these Black Americans will be everywhere? We out there in Canada. I hear Negroes in Nova Scotia, Bahia, Sri Lanka. We got a Black American Israelis. And we got a Black American rabbi on stage. Oh, damn, where you go? He left? Yeah, I was gonna pass the mic to bro.
Ariel,
Yes, sir.
are you an active member of the INF?
No, sir, I'm not.
Why?
Really, Dean?
Oh my God.
Why you going in the room? What's wrong with this?
No, it's cool.
Well, no, he has quite the vigor when it comes to his patriotism for his country, and I'm wondering if his rhetoric meets his action. I think it's a genuine, legitimate question.
This is a personal attack. And
Wait.
It's okay.
Hold on. You're Pan-African, but you live in Utah.
You don't hear me come on stage talking about we killed this person, and I think it's a legitimate question. You know,
What you be bragging about how the Yoruba
notice that we always
Northern Nigerian acts.
always Thursday.
Hold on, Luke, it's good.
Yeah, it's a legitimate question.
It's okay. I was just going for prescription, but I did serve. It's what you would call equivalent to, I guess, it would be border patrol. What do you guys have?
I'm sorry. Why did you start with the mention of Afghanistan specifically when you started speaking?
Because this is Iran is proxying off these people because of what America did to the Taliban during the war on terror under the Bush administration. Which is why, if you guys remember, on October 8th, the Taliban sent a call out across the Muslim world to allow them to march on Jerusalem. they tried to get involved with since nobody likes to tell it there just before.
Does the same apply with Al Qaeda?
Beg your pardon?
Does the same apply with Al Qaeda?
I mean, I don't know what Al Qaeda said in the Muslim world. I just know that everybody in the Muslim world is arguing about wants to be the first to kill us.
Just building. Does the United States view Al Qaeda as an enemy?
Oh, of course.
Did the state of Israel, part of their apparatus from the intelligence standpoint, support Al Qaeda?
I mean, you would have to ask somebody who's in Israel and tell them.
There's videos out there that say that the state of Israel provided medical support to Al Qaeda.
That's true. That's correct. Mossad coordinated with Al Qaeda to provide support to Al Qaeda. That is correct. That's a known fact.
Which again, I'm curious on why.
A known fact. Just because it's a known fact, I mean, unless any of us here are Israeli intelligence, we can go by what we see on the internet, which is.
There's a video of the former defense minister.
I understand, sir. I understand that there's a video, but we can go by the internet, which is never wrong and has never been wrong, never will be wrong, or we can ask somebody who is inside Israeli intelligence.
Well, I'm just curious. One second. I was just curious with that point because you started mentioning or hinting to the war on terror, but understanding that Israel had an involvement in supporting enemies of the war on terror that the United States fought against. I was just interested. Were you table setting when you started there?
Based upon a video that you saw on the internet, which is
No. I moved on from the video. I went back to when you table setting when you started speaking at that point about Afghanistan and the enemies of the United States in reference.
Well, it won't even let me click on the gifts. And the gifts won't even pop up. It's weird. It goes straight to sound.
Alright, let me turn it here real quick. Break it up a little bit.
Before TC why are y'all saying that he's compromised when he's literally an Israeli citizen living in Israel? It's a war. Why?
Yeah, but you just said that, we didn't help Israel and ask Iranians not to attack
and signing this thing called the
I mean, there's plenty of Americans in Israel, so I mean, basically, any attack on Israel, Trump's going to think as an attack on America, right? I mean, he's going to respond if they do so. I'd imagine.
What has happened, Iran is going to hit back, definitely, and it's going to be much harder. Probably the last time, I guess. Because what can I see? From what can I see, I can just tell that the hit back is going to be so hard.
I think the IRGC is sitting down right now.
Exactly.
They have already took off all the air defense within the league, and now they are just going around, hey, who is going to get the highest score? They just go around and pick and choose and destroy. So there's nothing left for IRGC to fight back.
It's hard to tell because, Iran, they have lots of missiles and lots of, war tools that's under the ground. And, they're just going to take it out and try to, respond with as much as many as they can, I guess. And it's something natural because I would say, Iran and Israel have been enemies for at least 40 years. And this is the time that they're going to go face to face. And, I think Iran is going to take this opportunity to kind of justify what it wanted before. And it's going to...
Except they're not, because their nuclear program is about to be set back for probably 30 years.
Iran would have never attacked Israel with nuclear missiles.
Yeah, right. You don't think that they would have attacked Israel with nuclear missiles? Really?
They would not. They would really not, because they're afraid of what they're attacking.
Is anybody else laughing with me? I don't know. This is fucking hilarious.
So I'm pretty sure that the regime is pretty suicidal. I don't think anybody would rule out
But the thing is, the benefits for them it's always not to because it's going to have interference all the countries worldwide. And the thing is, they only gaslight it and they threaten Israel because it's nature of the war debate. You know, when we Persians we say to dava hava bakshnevikara. This means when there is an argument, no one is giving out sweets. No?
Yeah, but Iran is the mother of the October, the pinnacle of the.
No one denies that, dude. No one denies that. Yeah.
So if you want to see for Israel, there's no point to keep fighting. There's only one solution: long-term peace. Long-term peace is you pick up Shiite, right? So there's no more competition. Who is the leader of Islamic nation? You pick up Shiite.
Yeah, but you can't do that because Shia. I would say
Iran is a
Shia leader spread out through the Middle East, and right now in India we have about 200 million Shias. Just take care of it.
How long they are not? They don't have weapons like
I know, but I'm saying you cannot
Yeah, but the India would not become like Iran, right? Organize with the money, selling oil to organize all the proxy to attack and surround Israel.
We're a tech-enabled platform that drive tourism to Israel. So what I'm telling you is what you don't know about tourism and what you don't know about the massive amount of diplomacy that tourism brings. You think tourism in the terms of just trade relationships with other countries, you're woefully mistaken. Tourism is less about trade in dollars and it's more about diplomacy. It's how countries are able to engage in diplomatic relationships with each other and extends leaves of goodwill and well wishes between each other without having to constantly harness conflict and like bad ill wishes to each other. It's literally tourism that keeps these countries together. So you're a little short-sighted in your perspective of tourism and how vitally important it is between Israel and its neighbors. This was a major component of the Abraham Accords under the first Trump administration, tourism.
So if I understand you correctly, somebody who lives here, who works within government, is short-sighted in comparison to somebody who doesn't live here and talks with somebody.
Based on the submission you just gave, that tourism is peanuts.
Hold on, sir. So the person who lives here in the city, who works in the government, is short-sighted in comparison to somebody who doesn't live here, who then talks with someone in regards to their tech business and through tourism. Is that correct?
So you say you work in government. What capacity do you work in government?
I'm not going to disclose that over here.
Well, you don't have any authority to claim you work in government if you can't disclose. I don't even know why you brought that up. If you can't disclose what capacity you work in government. So no. Let me finish now. You asked me a question. Let me finish. I don't credit your claim that you work in government.
There are lawyers come in and there are lawyers for the whole
T-shirt in front of
the whole regime.
I'm giving you an actual person with a name and a title that works at the highest echelon.
All I know is he's scared right now underground somewhere.
And I'm telling you that the sentiment.
So, and if he thinks you're going to strike, they're not going to come out right away and say it. That's for sure.
Dude, you wish. I mean, the only.
I wish. Why would I wish? What do you mean I wish? I mean, we're hoping for it, not wishing. Yeah, I hope you're also hoping for it too, being an Iranian.
Of course, but what I'm trying to.
So what, do you think it's like impossible for this guy to get killed? I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Alex, didn't you hear Benjamin Netanyahu say that the liberation of the Iranian people is at hand and that they should have cause to joy and celebrate? I mean, Netanyahu's going to liberate all the Iranians from these crazy Ayatollah Khomeini and these radical Muslim terrorists. It's all over. They're mafia chief. It's all finished.
I understand, but as a person who has more than like $2 billion or $3 billion just for himself, why he has so much to protect himself, trust me, so much. And the only thing that is happening, which is good, is the top commander-in-chief, top commander-in-chief for the war, for obviously army and everything, they're being taken out, but at the end of the day, it's going to execute them in some way.
Not that Khomeini is going to refuse top officials, they can substitute them. But it's not going to be what you're seeing before today. You're not going to see that. There are going to be attacks, I'm telling you, it's going to be very minimal. You're not going to see any effect at all. Sources at the rank of Russia. It's going to be very minimal. And you know, the reports that we're seeing right now are just very small limited reports. When we actually get to see the wide picture of actually what things about and what happened tonight, then maybe we'll get an understanding. If we do get to see that, if Iran allows people to let that information come out to the internet, which it seems like everyone is posting everywhere about it anyway. So, like I said, they took out Nasrallah and Hezbollah, and shortly after they took him out, and a lot of the top officials after him. That means they are very quiet. They're very quiet. They don't do anything. They were shooting rockets like crazy into Israel before that. But now that he's dead, we don't see any rockets anymore. Of course you can. He was hiding underground just like I'm sure Khomeini is doing the same thing.
You know, the thing is, like, 100 meter underground is almost really different from 400 meters underground. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm saying it really needs so much intel so they could really do the job.
What do you think about the nuclear facility? Do you think there's going to be nuclear contamination, like a Chernobyl type event?
I'm not sure because I'm not really knowledgeable about this, but I hope not because it's just going to hurt the population.
دلم برات خیلی تنگ شده.
I'm just shocked because, like, I remember for years on this app, we met so many Iranian people like, Israel needs to do this, Israel needs to do that. And then when Israel finally does something, you have a guy like Alex on here saying that it's not enough or that it was bad or whatever Alex is saying.
It's not enough.
Have you ever seen the Ayatollah Khomeini's YouTube channel? Like all these beautiful emeralds, he's in some weird sarcophagus, they're looking through the holy scriptures. It's the weirdest videos I've ever seen in my life. Have you ever seen the Ayatollah Khomeini videos?
I've seen it, yeah, very weird shit.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures from his portraits that he has some things, but besides that, not really, I'm not interested.
Top four figures were killed in Israeli strikes. General Hussein Soleimani, head of Iran's Revolutionary Guard. General Ghulam Rashid, senior military strategist. Dr. Taranchi, president of Iran's biggest university. Abbasi, top nuclear scientist, was also taken out. This is a massive blow to Iran's military and nuclear leadership.
Do you feel reminiscent like the Lebanese pager attack strike? Like this is another example of incredible Israeli proficiency in war?
Yes. Look how far they flew all the way to Iran and strategically took out 4 of the top people in their military and nuclear program. And that's just what we know about right now. Who knows what else?
Have you seen the videos of the rockets going into Tehran? There's like a wide angle lens.
Yeah, you can see, like, are you talking about the multiple missiles that you see coming down?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit looked crazy.
What was the name of the military operation that Netanyahu said in the video? Do you remember?
It was like Lion, or Freedom Lion, or some shit like this. I don't know. I have to find it again. Something with a lion in it.
So this is going to be like a multi-day strike. It's not just like a one-off. This is like going to be a
They
sustained.
declared war. They declared war on them with this strike.
Yeah,
He
100%.
said it's going to be at least 7 days.
At least. Do you know how long they've been bombing targets in Syria? That when the Iranians ship over weapons over there, they blow them up over there. That's been going on for years.
Yeah.
So that already was like a significant war going on, and the fact that Syria can't respond, Lebanon can't respond, Gaza can't respond, this is like a chess game. This is the fucking checkmate.
Exactly.
Time to establish you as state. You announced Euphrates.
Do you think the price of Iranian rugs is going to skyrocket? I'm thinking about buying a couple pieces prior to the war expanding. I've recently invested in an Iranian carpet cleaning service because I know a lot of these people just shat all over the floor.
Well, I'm sure you can get those for cheaper now.
I'm currently running ads in Tehrangeles in Beverly Hills for carpet cleaning and also laser hair removal services because we know a lot of these Iranians got a lot of fucking hair on their back. You know, I was actually going to go on a trip to Israel, but I was making jokes about how hairy Iranians are and how they should get laser hair removal, and they actually kicked me off the trip. She was like, "You're too immature. You can't make fun of Iranians' hair. Sorry, you can't come back to our free trip to Israel." I was like, "Oh, all right, I understand."
Did you guys go to Birthright? I'm going this summer.
Yeah, I did Birthright in 2002 with Shorashim, and it was on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and we met with a Palestinian, we met with an Israeli general, we met with all kinds of people.
So much happening in the world right now. Let's talk about Israel.
What do you mean? The war's already over.
That's it. All night and that's it.
It's like a fireworks show these days. They're so good at targeting.
I mean, you see some of the pictures of the buildings, like you can see how precise they were with the targeting on like top. They, only took out one floor on the top of the building, and that's it, and killed whoever they're trying to target who was living in that building.
Did you see the strike in Lebanon last week? It's the same shit over there too. It's fire from above.
So many other pictures that they have taken down like a whole building.
Yeah, but in those Alex, in those buildings that they targeted, it wasn't like regular civilians living in those buildings. Those are IRGC people living in those buildings. Anybody affiliated with IRGC gets to live in those type of buildings.
So there's
I've talked with other Iranians here, on this app on X, and they're very informed of actually what's going on right now. They have people that are living there, they're on the ground there. So, all this bullshit that Israel's killing innocent people in Iran now, it's all the narrative that they're gonna spin on Israel. Because everybody's fucking sour. Everybody's sour what's happening right now. Everyone's butthurt about it.
My parents,
It's okay.
family, they're living like really close to those buildings. Their worst almost the same. So does that mean that
And did you call them and they're okay?
Yeah, of course they're okay.
Okay, so what is there for you to worry about then?
Because
what is happening right now is not Israel's fault.
Exactly.
I'm not saying
They destroy Israel. They bombed the embassy. They killed a bunch of Jews. They killed Iranian Jews. There was more than close to 1 million Jews who used to live in Iran. Iranian forces. Iranian people, they do not like this regime. Whatever happens, it's on their hands. They start it.
Thank you, Farty. Thank you. Finally. My gosh. They also started by threatening Israel and the Western world with nuclear weapons, right? That's one thing you don't do. You don't threaten Israel with nuclear weapons and then keep saying that you're going to keep building them when we're telling you not to build them. So the IRGC put themselves in this situation, and I don't feel bad at all. And I'm actually happy because hopefully this will help the Iranian people cause a revolution and get the shit sorted out already, and they can take control of their country again, and not let Islam take control of their country. Radical Islam. This is like a
key, hand it to them. Like, here, take the key and, you know, take the sword.
You have to cry about this.
Because our influence invades and pervades geopolitical relationships.
You know, I want to tell you about the rest of, Israel showed me mercy because of so much support to Iran. Just it was like, we could have really did much support, but we didn't. We get mercy. You have to understand.
You know, the name of operation is
Islamic
Nation of the
regime,
Lion.
and you're occupying Iran is a threat to the existence of Israel. We need to destroy this Islamic regime. And if you're not, you guys, unfortunately, I know you guys want to be free from this regime, but you guys haven't been capable of it, so we need to do this job. Okay? And it's not going to be pretty. Obviously, there's going to be casualty wars, any war, even in the Islamic regime, when unfortunately many black people overthrew the Shah. There was many innocent casualties as well, right? So it's like you can't be like, oh, Israel, like, it is what it is. We're doing something that you're not capable of. You should thank us later because the Islamic regime in Iran needed to be destroyed many years ago. You know, so you should be very happy this is happening right now. Netanyahu said, let me tell you what Netanyahu said to the Iranian people today. He said to the Iranian people, the day of your liberation from tyranny is closer than ever. He also said to the Iranian people, okay. Well, he said something else, but I can find it. So you should be thanking us.
I think they're just so shocked about what happened, honestly. I was shocked too.
I was shocked too, but...
You know what?
You messaged me, you saw what I said.
You need to expect something. We can't let this go unchecked.
This is gonna prove that they're a paper tiger.
Listen, I was actually waiting for this and hoping for this. Destroyed the whole Middle East. Everywhere the Islamic regime went, destroyed it. Yemen, look at Iraq now. Look at Syria, Lebanon.
This is gonna prove they're a
That's not the hand of the Islamic regime in Iran.
This is gonna prove that Iran is a paper tiger. That the Iranian people don't actually want a sustained war, and that for the most part they're a peaceful people.
We were speaking Friday on Shabbat, and we were talking about that. I was actually saying that I hope it could have done this, but I wasn't expecting something to everything to Iran. Okay? I was expecting something to the nuclear facility.
They did. They did.
Yeah, they did.
How much has the price of Fest in June skyrocketed?
So we're closer to peace in the Middle East than we've been in decades. I'm very happy that Israel is not taking any more half measures and is doing what needs to be done.
Me too, Angelo. I think it's very important. America didn't want to step in, which I don't blame. It's really not America's battle. But you know, if something needed to be done, you don't threaten other countries with nuclear weapons. You don't let you don't let them the world not come in and do inspections on your nuclear facilities after you're threatening other countries with nuclear weapons. This had to be done, and that's what the government of Israel is saying. And I totally agree with that. So.
Do you think this is a regime change war, though?
I agree with you, Harry, completely.
Is this going to be a total regime change war? Because how do you know the Iranians don't actually have some type of suitcase bomb that they bought from some fucking KGB agent? So how can they actually prepare for all contingencies? It's impossible.
John, man, listen. You know, what you're talking about is fear-mongering. Israel is doing what it needs to do. Iran developing a nuclear bomb that can be, delivered via missile would be very destabilizing to the Middle East. It would be a horror show. Israel is doing what it needs to do to ensure their continued existence. I have no problem with what Israel is doing. I believe the United States supports them, but cannot necessarily come to, say it out loud. But when all the chips are down, we need to give Israel our 100% backing.
100%. I'm just playing the role of like a scientific experiment here on a social audio app saying if this was a video game, I mean, you want to think about things outside the box. So it's like, if this is a total regime change operation, there's going to be so many variables that come up over the next 3 months. It's going to be a wild, fucking 3 months. Because the Iranians, they have soldiers in Venezuela. I think tens of thousands of them. They may have sleeper cell agents that carry out indiscriminate attacks over the course of the next thing. If this is a war, it doesn't just end in a week. It goes on for quite a long time until, you know, the grassland burns or until things settle down. But the zit has popped.
Any terrorist attack, bring the hammer to up their ass. They're not going to do that. They try.
Exactly.
Have that to happen. They're not capable of such thing. They know it's going to be a consequences.
Well, I mean, the whole thing in Ukraine and Russia, I mean, I'm 42. We have all these nuclear weapons that we spent $100 billion on. Like, when is the biggest firework ever going to go off again? Is it just Hiroshima and Nagasaki, or can we anticipate 1, 2, or 3 nuclear detonations in our lifetime? And could it be in the next 3 months? Could it be in 12 months? I'm just saying, you know, live life to your fullest, everybody.
John, Iran is terrified of Israel. It always has been. You talk about saber rattling, the emperor has no clothes. They're selling wolf tickets. They are not really ready for what Israel is going to give them. So what really needs to happen is the people of Iran need to rise up and overthrow what's left of their government when Israel's done with it.
Tulsi Gabbard, the head of the Department of National Intelligence, the DNI chief of the United States, said we're closer to nuclear war than ever before a day ago. She knew this attack was coming, and there was nothing they could do to stop it. All these people who got into the new government, who supposedly are peaceniks, they didn't prevent this. So this is, you know, I don't know. I mean, the anthill is moving frenetically. Like, there's a lot of movement happening. So, I mean, it's escalating. It's, you know.
John, this wouldn't have happened if the Biden administration or Kamala was president. This would not have happened.
What do you think the Iranians can do? What do you think they can actually do?
I don't think they can do jack doodly squat, bro. They have some warplanes. They have some missiles, you know, but they're like toothless behind it, bro. I have a couple of planes, bro. They have a couple of planes, but there's nothing it's nothing that Israel can't handle. Israel is well equipped to handle whatever Iran throws at them. Iran fucked around and they found out.
The tyrants of Tehran
kept on
have openly called for Israel's destruction. They backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a proactive development of priorities. Texas leaders promised enough high-energy uranium
What do you think Iran's going to do? What do you think Iran's going to do?
Nothing.
Really? I don't think so.
Iran is taking steps
If they
to
do something, they're going to shoot the rockets out of the sky like toothpicks. That's what they're going to do, just like they did before.
Iran can produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time.
We're ready before that attack even took place.
Within a few months, less than a year.
You're not. Obviously, you know who wasn't ready? Iran wasn't ready. That's who wasn't ready. Hold on. You think the Iron Dome intercepts intercontinental ballistic missiles? Do you understand warfare? Do you understand any of the systems that Israel actually has? I think you're just reading to the articles on TikTok or watching videos.
Israel will never allow.
Are you working with IRGC? Are you like the head of IRGC?
Tonight, Israel backs those words.
I can scream if I want to. It's my room.
Okay,
that's what you do. Go ahead. Well, I mean, I'm outside walking my dog, celebrating. I'm going to scream, and I'm excited as fuck. And you're crying here, and we're laughing at how stupid you sound. When Iran gets, when Israel... The first thing you said was Israel can't do anything to Iran. Why are you screaming? Why are you screaming? Why are you screaming? I'm walking you right now, yeah, I'm walking you. You're my dog. No, you're our dog, don't worry. You always will sit under the foot of a Jew. You guys are always gonna sit under Israel's foot. You guys are gonna come and cry. Iran hits you, you'll be crying. Iran hasn't hit us once. That's the funniest part about it. Well, get ready for it.
Get ready for what? You guys got fun tonight.
Get ready.
They had 3 days.
It's nothing.
And you
It's nothing.
Get ready. They're going to attack.
Pardon? She is so delusional. Iran does not attack like that. When Iran attacks, you get ready. Yeah, how do you know? You sound like you're from England. How do you know?
He's from.
Give me 5 seconds. Give me 5 seconds. I want to ask you a question. Go ahead. What happened the last time there was a conflict? What happened the last time there was a conflict between Iran and Israel? What happened when Iran went up in Israel, sovereign territory, and killed generals? What happened when
inside Iran itself?
What happened? The response in Iran did.
We also defend
all the provocations.
What's happened? They too have suffered from Iran's
I'm asking you what has happened thus far.
Elections against Iran's proxy Hezbollah led to the establishment of
What do you suggest is going to happen?
and the collapse of Assad's murderous regime in Syria. The peoples of those two countries now have a chance for a different future, a better future. So
Listen, I understand the bad, the crime, and something that no one thought Israel could do because they think that Israel's weak and they think Israel are genociders, whatever they want to call Israel. Went by whatever the fuck, whatever your name is, I'm sorry to tell you, but go look at the news right now because I don't know what's been the last hour or two, but yeah, we fucked our heads back.
I didn't follow you. We will not let the world's most dangerous regime get the world's most dangerous
You're invited to the room by
Iran plans to
you're invited to the room by code. That's what you're invited by.
its terrorist policies that would make the nightmare of nuclear terrorism all too real. The increasing range of Iran's ballistic missiles would bring that nuclear right to the cities of Europe and America. Iran calls Israel the small C. It calls America the great C. And this is why for decades it's led millions in the chance of death to Israel and death to America. Today, Israel is responding to those genocidal calls with action and with a call of our own. Long live Israel and long live America. Our action will help make the world a much safer place. I want to thank President Trump for his leadership in confronting Iran's nuclear. He's made clear time and again that Iran cannot have a nuclear enrichment program. Today, it is clear that Iran is just buying for time. It refuses to agree to this basic requirement of peaceful nations. That is why we have no choice but to act, and act now. The hardest thing a leader must do is to thwart a danger before it is fully materialized. Nearly a century ago, facing the Nazis, a generation of leaders failed to act in time. They were paralyzed by the horrors of World War I. They were determined to avoid war at all costs, and they got the worst war ever. They adopted a policy of appeasement. They closed their eyes and ears to all warning signs. That failure to act resulted in World War II, the deadliest war in history.
Are you kidding me?
It
There is
claimed the lives of
absolutely
60
nothing
million,
worse than being British.
including 6 million Jews, a third of my
This is what happens when people are sour.
the Jewish people and the Jewish state.
They're sour, they're mad. It's okay, they can be sour.
Over again is now. Today, Israel has shown
Jesus.
when enemies vow to destroy you, believe them. When enemies build weapons of mass death, stop them. As the Bible teaches us, when someone comes to kill you, rise and act first. This is exactly what Israel has done today. We have risen like lions to defend ourselves. Over 3,000 years ago, Moses gave the people of Israel a message that has steeled their resolve ever since. Be strong and courageous, he said. Over 3,000.
So he's not wrong, right? So you mean that Yahoo is not wrong?
Hold on. It's almost done. I'll tell you 1 second. Yeah, hold on. Every time you like look for other people, I want to see
Rise and act first. This is exactly what Israel has done today. We have risen like lions to defend ourselves. Over 3,000 years ago, Moses gave the people of Israel a message that has steeled their resolve ever since. Be strong and courageous, he said. Today, our strong and courageous soldiers and people stand together to defend ourselves against those who seek our destruction. And by defending ourselves, we defend
crazy speech. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, this is why we don't need celebrities leading us, because we don't got nobody in our community that be standing on business like that. Even when they wrong, he know how to talk and play on the heartstrings on his people, bring up some ancient history. He utilized the Iranian citizens by saying, "Hey, I know you were under a brutal dictatorship."
Yes. What's the guy against the U.S.?
I'm telling you, 5 years now. Hold on, Tim. What is a woman? I want to respond to what you were saying, because you was criticizing Bishop Netanyahu. So, before October 7th attack, right? I got you. All right. Before October 7th, there was like a judicial overhaul crisis where Benjamin, because they don't have a constitution in Israel, so they got like a Knesset or something like that, right? So, I think they got a Supreme Court as well. So, Benjamin Netanyahu government proposed a series of like controversial reforms, basically aiming to like limit the power of Israel's Supreme Court, right? So when he did that, because he felt like it was, I think it was like too liberal, because Benjamin Netanyahu was part of the Likud party. It's like they call it like the MAGA version of Israel, it's like right wing. It's in Jerusalem, whatever. Anyways, so prior to October 7th attack, they was like super divided because of this, right? They did a 9-month protest. Like it was mass nationwide protest for 9 months in Israel. They did all throughout Jerusalem, Israel. They had like a military intervention, all type of shit. But prior to the October 7th attack, he wasn't a real big fan in Israel. So TC was right about that. I was just responding to the people in the chat. But let me just say this. Let me say this real quick. I'll be real quick. Please, let me just get. Can I get 15 seconds?
Oh no, wasn't it supposed to be chaotic? No.
No. I don't want to get in the middle of y'all.
It was Alan, but GC, Alan,
TC, go.
Alan, I'll be quick, Alan, let me go 20 seconds and I'm done.
Yeah, go.
3 things. Number 1, very compelling. Bibi Netanyahu is very charismatic. There's a reason why he continues to lead his party is because he has a way with words. He can drive a narrative, and he's done so effectively over the last couple of years. Number 2, that does not discount and discredit the reality that since World War II, the bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, atomic bombs and nuclear bombs have not been used. They are typically used as a deterrent to warfare. And for Israel to take a preemptive strike against Iran, claiming that its defense of Israel is the reason why they attack preemptively, it strains credulity. And number 3, what I said was exactly what he just said, which was that he's correct. I mean, you cannot discredit what he's saying. Yes, Iran is enriching uranium to the levels that they will be able to basically put nuclear warheads on intercontinental ballistic missiles and potentially attack Israel. But that's the case with a lot of countries that are in conflict with each other. Pakistan has nuclear warheads. Iran has nuclear warheads. They're in an active conflict. Matter of fact, as recently as a couple months ago, about a month ago, they were engaged in a real, lethal combat. India, that's what I said. India and Pakistan, that's what I said. Both India and Pakistan have nuclear warheads. Neither one of them are used. So for him to use this as a justification for a preemptive strike against Iran, it strains credulity, and it promotes the idea that Bibi Netanyahu is only interested in further entrenching his political relevance and keeping himself in power as long as possible to stave off criminal prosecution in Israel.
Now I'm gonna go. Don't respond.
I agree with that. All right. Hey, TT, quick question. Do you have vested interest? Because you say you do business in Israel. So are you mad at the war because of your personal interest?
Yes. The answer is yes. I have personal business interest in Israel. I am personally biased. Yes.
Yes, thank you. All right, Alan, anything?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the first time Israel talked about Iran getting nuclear warheads was in 1992. Yitzhak Rabin, and he said they're 3 to 5 years away from getting. We've been hearing Israel talk about Iran getting
Where they said that they had counterintelligence inside Iran that was successful. So like they already they didn't know that certain places were gonna get hit. Like they knew certain places were, but they killed top officials at the same damn time. Damn.
Yeah, they took out their missile program. Exactly. Oh, that's Jay. What's up, Jay?
Hello.
Hello.
Are you awake? Hello. Has Sana talking lately or no? Spoken lately? You awake?
She was typing in the chat.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure you good. You good?
Of course. They're good over there. They're chilling. They're about to drink coffee, have some fucking breakfast, and enjoy the morning. You know. Café Chacon, like.
What time is it, Sana?
It's 5:30 in the morning.
Did the red alert stop? Or is it still going off?
No. It was one time to wake us. To start a war.
Think the country of the 8 million people would determine the fate of the entire world. I'm sorry, if you're from Israel, you're not that important. You really aren't. And in fact, as an American, what I'm going to say to that other Israel,
You know, it's a full moon tonight, guys. There's a reason for it,
was
right?
the fact
Everything happens on
that
full
I'm
moon.
tired of paying for these conflicts.
This is it.
You represented Israel and Iran and
All thanks to the
Iraq
US or
and
Israel,
all of
so.
that. The price of doing
I think
my
generally
final
prefer.
statement,
I think
the
it
price
was
of
very
doing
timely, very
business in
concerning
the
to know
Middle
what
East
Iran was doing.
has
They would
got
prefer
far
to do
too
it
costly,
without lights
and
to
we'd
help
be
them.
better off as
That
Americans
gives them
dealing with India.
Yeah, but when you're like 50 or 60,000 feet in the air, I guess it doesn't really matter at that point, right?
Dealing with anybody else
No, they're not.
except Israel.
Profile
I'm done. Thank you.
major scientists for nuclear
Was there
soon to go attack and gas his house.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hold on real quick.
Yep. That's only just one of the 4 people that we know of right now. I mean, who knows how many other people have been taken out for this? There'll be plenty more, Mark.
Hold on, do some real updates real quick.
Look, he has a whole fucking top of the apartment built into himself.
Interesting. That's the head scientist?
I believe his name is Backlight.
Can you put in the link in the chat?
Also targeted strikes on nuclear enrichment facilities at.
Yeah, I want to post it someplace else.
Martin, I saw the guy, one of the guys' name was Feridun Abbasi, top nuclear scientist.
Benjamin
He
Netanyahu
was also killed.
Yes.
Operation
Confirmed by IRGC site.
Also, breaking news, oil prices.
Yeah, their whole nuclear program is done. That's it, man. You don't have scientists to do it? Like, who's gonna do it?
That's crazy.
You can have all the resources you want, but if you don't have any scientists, every nuclear weapons.
Don't be mad at Luke.
I'm a little like
And you know what? Iran doesn't just use nuclear reactors for their war machine. Israel nuclear energy. Iran used nuclear reactors for nuclear energy. So the fact that they're targeting their entire nuclear program is crazy to me, because we know that the #1 output of energy in countries like Iran is nuclear energy. So that's just like to use this as a justification to hit all of their nuclear sites and their nuclear scientists. It is just great. You can go ahead.
Hey, TC, let me ask you a quick question. When Iran, how many bicentenary
Hundreds, maybe thousands.
targeting indiscriminately?
Indiscriminately.
Okay, when Israel struck at Iran, was it strategic and targeted or indiscriminate?
Strategic and targeted.
Do you see the difference?
Iran released a statement saying that Israel
I know you're not doing that, but do you see the difference in the mentality of the regime that would indiscriminately launch missiles?
okay?
Yeah, I've already read that earlier, but
focuses on specific.
yeah, I don't think anybody here is too worried about that.
But you have to understand, and again, I'm a big supporter. Just yes or no. Just yes or no. Let me respond to you. And I'm a big supporter of Israel. I'm not a supporter of Netanyahu. You have to understand, each time that Iran sent missiles into Israel, Israel preemptively attacked Iran. Okay, that's a big point. No, I'm not missing that point. I asked you whether it was targeted or indiscriminate.
They got the news.
Well,
You know what's happening.
disingenuous. Iran's making military infrastructure only. And this is what we do when we watch about
Iran didn't do that.
The thing is, they've been saying this stuff for a while. They dropped out in the course of the weeks. There was reports about them trying to take down Iranians and all that.
Like the facts.
That's right. They go into reconnaissance aircraft that was flying over Iran.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, I don't know how true it was, but now it's making sense. And the United States says they
So why don't you answer the question?
I 100% believe that the United States, related information with Israel, process or whatever it was.
Answer the question then. Let's check your credibility. The more than 300 ballistic missiles that Iran launched towards Israel, were they targeted or were they indiscriminately launched towards Israel? They were targeted. They were targeted. That is a never marked. Okay, so which one is it? It doesn't matter, or they were targeted. The consensus is that they were indiscriminate. I don't think we have to dispute this. Right. Okay.
I've been quiet. I gotta make prayer. Who's consensus that was indiscriminate?
Okay, so like I said, the FCC acknowledged, okay, contrary to fantasy, alright, missiles that were launched indiscriminately. So, hold on, not that I'm almost done. So, I was doing the contract. Israel choose a specific target.
You see, you spoke up as
And in order to achieve a very specific objective, whether you like it or not, that's the facts. Iran, on the other hand, okay, when they launched more than 300, I want you all to think about the logic behind. They launched 300 specifically targeted ballistic missiles, as if they possess that capability with their targeting system. I want y'all to think about that. Okay, I'm going to
America. I haven't seen their official site.
They literally funded the actors of
Not that they're going to attack America, but they declared a war on America. So, I don't know.
regime, Hezbollah,
I don't know how true it is, but I'm sure they're pissed off.
by Iran.
Bro, we didn't even do anything to them.
The paths, like the
Yeah, you guys, we did. We're Americans. That's what it is. That's what we have to be.
Remember the New York skyscrapers?
You're not Muslim.
I'm gonna go grab my Mexican flag and go protest.
Yeah, you wanna? I think it's the Nigerian wildfire. Alright, real quick,
My friend, grab her!
wait, real quick,
Are we celebrating? Are we celebrating?
Asking, like, cause I see a lot of tweets and stuff. Yo, I got a question. So if Israel was the worst country in Europe prior to the whole war, and we spent over $200 million to help Ukraine.
And then you
And Israel is a way better ally. We benefit way more than
You can't treat the clubhouse.
Can we agree with that?
2 hours ago, no?
Yeah. So we benefit more. Wait. So I want to hear from the people that said we benefit more from our ally with Ukraine than Israel. Can you break that down?
I can't agree with that because
No, even with our alliance with Ukraine, because Ukraine is basically like a distraction that we're giving to.
We did already.
I'm telling you why. Let me tell you why. Ukraine is kind of like the
We're talking about pre-the war. It's not talking about post-the war.
I'm still talking about pre the war. We're forgetting Crimea. What? You know what? No, let idiots speak with their idiots, because I'm not doing this tonight. I'm literally not. Listen to the chat GPT videos because they got it.
I want pictures for that. Okay.
Your dog will always holler, won't it?
We love you, Jack. This is the new. I am literally fucking driving. What the hell?
May I just answer the question? Because your question was pretty clear. This is hilarious. So again, even prior to what's going on now, right? There was the issue with Crimea, which I actually still blame Barack Obama for, but I don't think that he would have been able to get past whatever was happening with the Republicans to properly stop Russia. So sometimes the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I don't think that we really have a vested interest in the Ukraine. However, when it comes to the soil, the minerals, just the rich, lush land that represents Ukraine, if we recall, when Russia invaded Ukraine, that's actually what disrupted the markets in 2022. It wasn't COVID, right? Had not decided around that time to invade Ukraine, what happened with the pipeline, even though I personally think that Russia blew it up, but we don't really know what happened. That's actually what caused the gas prices to go up. A lot of the fertilizer, the ingredients that contribute to fertilizer, are actually imported from Ukraine. So Ukraine is very strategic to us. Plus, it is always going to be a thorn in Russia's side because we know that the United States represents the West. Even after the Cold War, Russia continues to be a huge problem. Just for the United States in general, and I personally don't think it's ever going to go away. Right? They're always going to come after us, whether it is blatant or not. And it benefits us, quite frankly, to kind of have Ukraine step up, which is why, contrary to when people think that we sent all of this money to Ukraine, we literally sent them the equivalent of just old ass weapons that we don't even use anymore, right? It's like
2 days, 3 days, 1 week.
Russia? When has Russia come after us? When has Russia come after the United States? Have you forgotten the Cold War, or you were just too young to remember that? Like seriously, what are you talking? You want to talk about? No, but it's fine. You want to talk about the arms race? You want to talk about the? Are you forgetting about Sputnik? Like, oh my God. I'm sorry. I take pauses in my thought, right? Because I'm outgoing. So anywho, I'm sorry. That was just McCarthyism. I'm sorry. That was just an odd question. So anywho, yeah, I think that because let's put it this way. There are countries that would line up in the Middle East to basically take Israel's place. We don't really have such an option when it comes to Russia and Ukraine. We could replace Israel with the snap of our fingers, right? You got Saudi Arabia really just cares about money. They don't really give a shit about anything, which is why Saudi is very strategic. They did deals with Kushner, they did deals with Trump. Saudi is going to do deals with whoever wants to pay to play. That's basically Saudi, right? They're not getting in the middle of the bullshit. Saudi Arabia just want their Lamborghini over their money and their wealth, whatever, right? So Israel is really, we could replace them at any moment in time, right? They're not that special in my perspective. I think Ukraine is much more strategic, and plus, and I hate to agree with what's his name. They really just take our money now. They're always having us in some shit, and I just don't think that alliance is as strong anymore. And now we literally have an American president who is using anti-Semitism as a reason to go against U.S. institutions, U.S. enterprises. Like I don't really like that. To the world, it looks like we're being punked, and that's a very, very dangerous thing to do with the United States when we are so susceptible to pretty much 99% of the world coming against us at any point in time. That's my perspective.
Yeah, this is why. This is so weird. Hold on, let TC respond to that. No foreign
no foreign policy buff in the entire country would repeat what Mickey just said. She said America can replace Israel in the Middle East with Saudi Arabia? Are you serious? Wait, bro, this is crazy. Not only does Israel have the strongest military in the Middle East, they have the most reliable intelligence apparatus in the Middle East. The Mossad is the envy of the world when it comes to intelligence. America relies on Israeli intelligence for operations in the Middle East. And we're going to replace Israel with Saudi Arabia?
So first of all, we have can you please stop talking
about, bro? Israel has 3 times the military might of Saudi Arabia. Okay? So that's just crazy. Number 2, it is not Ukraine that's the buffer against Russia. It's NATO. Have you ever heard of this alliance in Europe? Have you ever heard of this?
If you scream after you, don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. How you look at hey, CC.
Have you ever? Hold on, listen. Don't leave me.
Let him land.
Don't leave me. All right. So have you ever heard of this thing called NATO? Maybe NATO had a little thing to do with why Russia can't fuck with the United States of America, right? This is just folly. Nobody was no serious person with serious foreign policy chops would ever say what Mickey just said. I'm done.
Hey, I'm about to crowd.
I have a comment.
Anybody cut off a squabble, you get shot. I'm letting everybody know right now. Anybody ad-lib cut off, I'm shooting. Let the squabble go. Continue.
So I have a question for TC. How long has the United States been paying Israel and pretty much
Decades.
Since 1947?
Exactly. So the point that I'm trying to make is, and this is actually kind of funny since TC just kind of went on this grandiose discussion about how the U.S. dominates in economy, the U.S. dominates in GDP, the U.S. dominates in commerce. So again, are you substantiating then that it was not the great and mighty United States that pretty much substantiated Israel and made it into the country that it is today? And are you really saying that we couldn't choose Saudi Arabia and do the same fucking thing that we did to Israel? Because like you said, sir, we have been giving them money and paying for their shit since 1947. It's time to take Israel off of our titties and go and make another strong country. So it's interesting to me, Lou, and everybody else, that on the one hand, you have somebody who just praised the United States dominance and admitted that they literally are biased in terms of Israel, right? Because, hey, I would want to do business in Saudi with those fucking billionaires than Israelis who are literally trying to bomb everybody. But, hey, what do I know about money, business, the economy, commerce, or the dollar dominance? But we're going to just leave that for next, right? Big bank always overtakes little bank. I would get that shit in Saudi if I was anybody. But you know what? I'm just going to mute on that. So, yes, and who wants to join NATO? And who literally started this shit? But are you forgetting that we currently have a United States president that is against NATO? Trump doesn't like NATO. Didn't he want to remove us from NATO? So it's interesting once again that you're going to mention NATO as a buffer when the man that you voted for, amen and hallelujah, says NATO is full of shit and wants to leave them. So I stand and we can move the mic around. I'm done.
No. We're not gonna let you get away with lies. Okay, we're gonna fact check you. Okay, Trump never said he wants to get away from NATO. What Trump said is that if NATO doesn't pay up and meet their minimum GDP defense spending threshold, that he would threaten to leave NATO, okay? You don't need to do a ChatGPT search to know that Trump never vowed to leave NATO. And what actually ended up happening after he levied that threat, over 90% of the countries in NATO started to meet those GDP threshold defense spending at those thresholds. So actually what Donald Trump did was he provoked those countries to contribute to their national defense spending relative to their GDP. So that was an effective strategic move by the Trump administration, and it worked. But number 2, the American government subsidizes countries all around the world. South Korea, Singapore, India, multiple countries,
Israel, of course, one of the largest beneficiaries of Israel, but even in Africa.
No, but they're not being subsidized. They're in a trade deal. So
yeah, I mean, call it whatever you want to. There's plenty of trade deals. There's plenty of subsidy. America does subsidize Israel. Let's just be honest. America provides a lot of weapons for Israel. So you would essentially call that subsidies to Israel. Biden did it, Obama did it, Bush did it. But again, that's a part of our strategic reliance on Israel to be a military benefactor for the U.S. in the Middle East. Remember, do you guys remember what happened when we were struck on 9/11? How Israel came to our aid? Are you guys kidding me? There's a reason why America has been allies with Israel for as long as we have, and we continue to be Israel's longest and strongest supporter. It's because America relies very heavily on the Israeli intelligence and the Mossad to provide protection for American interests in the Middle East. And peace in Israel and its neighbors is very much vital to America's economic proliferation in the Middle East. So again, I don't know what she's talking about, but one mic on her, and I'll give her the last word.
So once again, take away the funding, and what do you have? Israel cannot stand alone. Whereas Saudi Arabia, because as someone earlier mentioned, they ended the 50-year petrodollar agreement. Saudi Arabia is just like the United States. They don't give a fuck about anything except money, right? So again, like I said, when you have an American president, because again, everybody forgets Trump's first administration. In his first administration, he repeatedly attacked NATO. Repeatedly, right? He said they weren't paying enough money, but here's the problem. When you run everything, just like Diddy did for decades, he paid everybody to basically be his bitch, okay? When you run shit, when you have the money, you dictate what the fuck is going to happen. By the way, which is how the United States got into the position that it did. Do you really think that we're benevolent and kind? You really think that we didn't substantiate Israel just because we cared about the Jewish people? Or maybe you thought the Bible had a piece of involvement in there. So like I said, he who controls the bank controls the bitches, right? So when you make everybody else bow down to you, that was Trump's problem, because he's never been the man in charge of the bitches. He's had to pay the old hoes just like Stormy, right? So when we were running NATO, we dictated what the fuck happened because we were bankrolling everything. You notice that we didn't really start to have a lot of these goddamn problems until Trump was in office? If you really want to pay attention, if you really want to go there, no, of course not, May I fucking finish? Seriously, I don't need your help, whoever's speaking. I really don't need your help. I didn't ask for it, neither am I substantiating it. You didn't even remember Sputnik in the Cold War, sir. You're about 32 years old. I'm gonna really need you to hush. Because y'all don't remember, because nobody's doing the damn TikTok about it, how much the Cold War and the Russian threat was. How we even had the race to who was even gonna fucking get up in space with them, right? Like it was, that shit was a major fucking problem. We thought they were gonna bomb our ass at any goddamn moment. Russia and the United States went back and forth. We didn't even know we were fucking gonna go to head, which is why we had to disable them. But guess what? Putin is a KGB trained assassin, right? We are never gonna disregard that motherfucker. He is probably one of the 3 most dangerous men in the entire world. I would also put Elon in there, but that's just my opinion. So like I said, where is the fucking threat? What is Iran gonna do to the United States? Not a goddamn thing. What is Iran gonna do to Saudi? Not a goddamn thing. What the fuck does Russia want to do? Take out the entire goddamn West. This is an old-ass war. Old-ass war. We are literally just paying Israel at this point just because we've been doing it, right? And we can't even disassociate ourselves from them. Again, this is my perspective. And I'm about to go get a snack, so y'all continue to chat GPT, argue amongst yourselves.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. We do a vote. Because y'all don't supposed to be cutting off back and forth. All right. Put a gun emoji in the chat. You feel like Israel is more of a strategic partner than Ukraine. Put a brain emoji in the chat. You feel like Ukraine is more of a strategic partner than Israel. I think it's Israel. I don't think it's both of us. Because even if we look at the Jewish contributions to the United States, as far as like the Nobel Peace Prize, scientific technology, They've done more for the United States than all the Arab countries, all Arab Americans and Ukrainians are combined. So I mean, I guess. And we know 90% of Jewish Americans are pro-Israel.
Look at the chat, Lou. It's not even close, bro. I probably put it a second.
Yeah, maybe we see again.
Of course, because Clubhouse is known for being well run.
I thought you were gonna go get a drink.
Sure.
Snack.
I said a snack.
Good argument. All right, let's pass it to, I want to talk to people that's actually, hold on, because I got to pass it to people that's actually in Israel. Is any Iranians in here? Put a one in the chat if you're from Iran. All right, let's talk to Black Rabbi. Black Rabbi, how you doing? He lives in Israel. He's a dual citizen of America, Black American, Israeli Orthodox rabbi.
Jay Brassica's gonna fuck with me.
Personally. So he's a smart brother. How you feel about what just happened? And then y'all just in the topic. Yes, brother.
Okay, so this is I can't speak
We did. Who we? We did. Who we? Oh, it's gonna say that. Probably should get that.
their proxy in the south of Israel and Hamas. You have some people in Iraq and you see the Yemen or the Houthis in Yemen, right? And so when we talk about supporting Israel is coming of this front line of creating this new consolidated Middle East, right? Where when we look at even the whole situation in Gaza, like we hear Trump's initiative saying like, hey, you know what, we're going to turn this into a freedom zone. When you look at that strategically, in that area, you're looking at now, Gaza now, if it turns into a freedom zone, can now be an open bridge between Jordan, Israel, and now with Syria changing their behavior, right, and getting new leadership and repenting, right, and joining the fold, now even with Syria. So we're talking about a new unified Middle East. People don't realize how much resources Israel shares with Jordan in terms of water, electricity, same thing with Egypt, these other areas. So even though we may hear a lot of rhetoric of fighting and disengagement, but underneath that there's a lot of business. So America's partnership with Israel is not limited to Israel, but it's in a region that if people were talking about Ukraine and other places, you have to realize that what we're watching right now in the world is a proxy war between China and America, right? That's being expressed in the Middle East, right? Russia is, China's sending, much of Iranian infrastructure is funded by Iran, right? And when you look at what Iran does, look at Africa, look at Boko Haram, look at Nigeria, it's training people. It's training the soldiers, the militant, Islamic fundamentalists in Africa to kill Christians, to kill other Muslims who don't agree with them. That's Hezbollah, right? That's one of Iran's arms. So anyway, I just going into just a few points to understand that it's not just Israel, America, this whole thing. No, all these countries are in partnership, and there's a resistance that's happening that does not want peace, and that's what Iran represents.
Exactly my point.
Let's pass it to, do anybody disagree if I'm best to degrade
No, we don't want peace. No one ever said that. That's what someone else said on this app who's about to start talking. You don't realize, like I said, the United States has never been benevolent and kind. And for all the people saying we're giving away a lot of money to Ukraine, U.S. aid to Israel is the largest cumulative recipient of U.S. foreign aid since World War II. Everything that you guys are saying, Israel does this, and Israel takes care of Jordan, and Israel does this. We have fucking funded them. We've literally created them. If you want to go there, kind of like Japan. Japan did not have any. See, this is where my conservative bag comes in. Do you know how many countries the U.S. has literally puppetized, subverted, funded, created, gotten rid of dictators we didn't want aren't all for just because we fucking could, because they could be a potential threat, because we do pay them to be a potential ally, right? Remember like what happened with Gaddafi, Lou? You're always talking about that, right? Why did we want anything to go down in Africa that would remotely even assist in them becoming strong arming themselves? Because it doesn't fucking benefit us. So when I listen to people, and it's fine, because what I realize is that American propaganda that you've learned in the history books literally has you thinking that the United States is really this benevolent and kind country, and we just give funding out of the goodness of our hearts. Did somebody mention that Israel gives water to Jordan? Do you really think we give a fucking people in Jordan have water or not? We have people in this country that don't even fucking have water. Do you really think we give a shit about that? What we give a shit about is making Israel look like the bad guy, which, by the way, Lou, you even hear it on this app. People hate the Jews. Never even really encountered anybody like that bringing up old ass propaganda. Jewish people are horrible. What do you think has helped to substantiate that narrative? Do we really want to go back to J.P. Morgan, Pierpoint Chase, and the real families behind that basically the bankers that subsidized and funded World War I and World War II? Do you think that those were foreign bankers? Were those bankers from Israel? No, those were American bankers. And do you want to know why? I know Bubbles knows. $10 cash out to the person that can answer the question for me. Why would you think that the United States, and how did we get to be the #1 GDP in the world in such a short period of time, being such a fledgling country? What is the #1 thing that is guaranteed to fill your coffers if you either supply the weaponry or you an instigator in the shit? It's a 3-letter word. Or, Jay Hudson, send me a back channel with your cash app. It is war. And what is one thing, and I really am going to go get my snack, and what is one fucking thing that the United States is good at, whether it's a proxy war, whether we're upfront on the shit, whether we fund the shit, or whether we supply the weaponry? What is the United States the best at? War.
Hold on, we got somebody from Iran here. Put a 1 in the chat for me from Iran, because this is an unbiased thing. Even though I'm from, even though I'm pro-America, and I fuck with Israel, this is an unbiased stage, alright?
So, Mickey is strawmanning the argument. No one is arguing the U.S. is benevolent, the black man also, yes, there's a changing front when it comes to policy in the Middle East. And as we saw with Trump's recent visit to the region, he's becoming more amicable with these Muslim nations, these Middle countries. Remember, he was gifted the $500,000 plane by the Qataris, right? I thought they were a hub for Muslim leadership, allegedly, but I guess, I don't know what's going on now. He also signed deals, weapons deals, host of different deals with Saudi Arabia and these different countries. And
This could be a quick attack, or
also have certain geopolitical desires they want to advance, particularly some resolution to the Israel-Palestine issue, right? And Trump's on board with that, theoretically. And he feels Netanyahu.
Breaking news, oil prices up 12%.
No problem. And he feels Netanyahu is an impediment to that, right? And listen, I understand Saudi Arabia, Iran is a long sordid history of contention, but I don't believe Saudi Arabia wants to see Iran be thrown into destabilization by an all-out war. That doesn't include anyone in the region. So, say again?
Of course it does.
It does.
Saudis are willing to check. Trump came to office, the largest arms deal in U.S. history was $350 billion in 2016. That was the Saudis, but the Saudis were the check.
The world, oh shit.
Exactly what they're doing right now. Like, this is the whole point. Iran is
This could be a quick power attack, or is it the first quick? Why don't see a volcano? It doesn't stop erupting. Who knows? Maybe we'll just start
Let me finish. I don't hence he has Whitcomb going there to speak. Hence we have Trump saying, hence we have Trump saying he doesn't support Israel attacking Iran.
That's also correct.
If I can finish,
Maybe we'll
hence we have talking about they need to supply intelligence, military support. They are backing away from this. They are creating distance from this because they weren't in support. Because this administration was for some diplomatic agreement. Netanyahu does not want peace with the Palestinians. He doesn't want peace with Iran. He has been an agent of chaos historically. There's no argument about this, right? So this new change in policy, or Trump is deciding, at least in theory, to work with these other countries in the Middle East and usher some sort of peace agreement where they're excluding Netanyahu. Again, wanting Trump stopping Israel this last tour in the Middle East is quite evident. So Netanyahu realizing what's going on, he is throwing, he is being an agent of chaos, and he's unilaterally attacking Iran to collapse any agreement. Hold on. So naturally, this is going to incite a response from Iran, which is rational, and give a pretext to collapse any sort of agreement Trump and Iran are working for. I ask my fellow Americans, what advantage does the U.S. gain by having Iran involved in the middle of a negotiation? What's the gas is going up? What advantage?
Let me say one sentence. I just want to get a sentence. I know you guys remember in The Godfather, like when you make the difference between a wartime conciliary, a wartime conciliary versus a non-wartime conciliary. Dean, you're my faith, but you're not a wartime conciliary. You're proving it. That's what this is. You're not. Go have a seat. Everybody go watch The Godfather and learn the difference between a wartime conciliary and a non-wartime one. That's the problem. Dean was a wartime conciliary. She went SIGLITRE. Shut the fuck up. Okay, don't do me like that. You're not gonna challenge me that way. I'm not gonna.
Bro, she's the one that's trolling. She's the one saying Nikki is a war conciliary.
Let me tell you the best. I live in Wilmington. I got news yesterday. Let me tell you, this is gonna soften your heart right now. And look, I don't care who's listening. I don't fucking care. I might get emotional. I might break down and cry. I'll try not to. What I worked for tirelessly for the last 8 years came to fruition yesterday. You understand that? 8 years of work, of my vision, of my fucking vision, came to fruition yesterday, which was saving me, my brother, and my sister from the Canadian IRS, which is called the CRA. I scrubbed, in the last year, $1 million of liability, personal liability from shareholders, which they would have come up after us. I would have to fucking leave the country if no one did the work. And of course my siblings, were not interested. They would rather fucking bury their fucking head in the sand. Okay? I fucking stood up. I did the work. I had the vision. And this is the lovely thing. This is the fucking best thing. This is the icing on the cake. I was okay with just having to pay back like $40,000 because I knew the coffers were that full. I have a $75,000 credit.
RPP.
Yes. So I have seven. Not only did not only did it go for $1.5 million. They stole. They didn't steal. They took $500,000 from a bank account. Bank account is now unlocked as of today. I thought that I would have to pay 40,000, but now it turns out that I'm getting 75,000 back. And then I'm like, I'm fucking like my erection and my vigor, like I'm back, man. I'm back because sure. Well, the thing for that is the back.
Because you guys lost the fucking war. What are you talking about? Shut up! And we never gave up Sinai. What are you? Oh my god. Rain. That was supposed to
So maybe the curse is that they all deny themselves. That's not just poetic, that's theological, psychological, and energetic.
So you're saying I can actually have a life? You can be a billionaire over there. You can be a billionaire over there.
Billionaire.
Wait a minute, what if I cut it off? What if I cut it off?
I'll teach you.
Don't worry about that. You come to the Israelis, they're gonna give you a fast course and you're gonna be a professional in a split of a second. And if you need a diploma, come to me. I'm printing a diploma immediately.
You know, I've said this before. We don't hate Jews. We just hate Jews who love Jews. We don't hate Jews. We just hate Jews who love being Jews. We don't hate Jews. We just hate Jews who love being Jewish. Right? Unbelievable. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
They've got it all. I can't help but resist the play. Diamond fight. How much per carat, my friend? You want me to buy or you want me to run? How much per carat? $25. You asked me to tell you, I told you. Now you're telling me. Don't worry.
You said 70 for this one.
70 for this one? Then how much for this one?
This one
You see, they're driving me crazy here. They've got it all.
Yeah, he said we're rejoicing too soon.
Oh my God! Look what Israel doing now in Iran. All the refineries blowing up now. It's gonna be
started, man.
It's gonna be a lot of light tonight in Iran. We're keeping the same energy. We're keeping burning the shit out of Iran.
I'll tell you what my father told me. If my father goes against Israel, I will go against my father. Go with Israel.
Exactly.
If I can tell someone today about it, only one person. To Jake. This is for Jake.
For sure,
Not the Nazis responsible for killing him and another 1,200 Israeli Jews and friends.
Yep.
God bless Jake. I miss him. I want to tell you something like real quick. Like I'm a friend on Instagram that I've known for like
10 years. And she came out, just 1 second. And then she came out like a full, like, Hamas person. And then I told her the other day, I'm like, fuck off, I want nothing to do with you. And she's like, why? Like the Palestinian cause. I'm like, there was no Palestine, no such thing as Palestine. And I cut her off. But I don't regret it one bit because it's like, I remember Jay.
Wait, what did you cut off exactly?
Bro, I told the bitch to get fucked. I blocked her.
Sorry, my bad.
No. But it's like these people don't understand what people lost. You know, I remember Harry, God bless you. I remember you texted me that day, and I broke my heart. But it's like this bitch was saying pro-Palestinian shit. I was like, nah, you gotta go. I don't want any of that bullshit in my timeline at all whatsoever. So thanks for reminding me that about Graver. It's just Jake would have been so. He should be still here with us, you know. Such a beautiful man.
He is here with us. He's guiding the IAF in the sky right now to make sure that everything is well. That's how I see it.
Yeah. I was wondering if I could ask you guys this question. And I need a legitimate answer. Can I?
Sure.
Is it okay if you're trisexual and you support Palestine?
Only if you live in America.
They found a bunch on a boat on the way over there.
Who was Muslim today? And then put in the Shah. And then when the Shah started talking different, who was the Shah? If with the support of the Mullah, that you're not having issues with, now you want to put them out. Who was that?
Well, the other thing,
Who was that?
you clearly you cannot take actually and so the point of the matter is that yes, Iran and Saddam were two of the biggest threats to the United States. Now, people need to realize that in America, if Iran had the nuclear weapons,
can you please answer the question? Because I gave you three examples.
okay, but it just kind of
No, it's relevant because you're trying to address that.
okay, no, I think so. I was in the middle of landing my plane.
I understand, but connect the dots. So you're trying to take
You're gonna wait 12
with
minutes.
the support of the Mullah.
And then you to ask your Nobel Peace Prize questions one second.
It's not a Nobel Peace Prize, and I think you know the answer.
Okay.
You're trying to paint a rosy picture. I don't want to limit every single country when a Middle Eastern leader is about and has a different opinion on the outside of what you want you guys to make like the first, they took them out. I think this rosy picture, like the United States come about it, all of a sudden having a level of sovereignty and independence. No, they're going to put in puppets that are going to be able to do what they want to do. And if they do or say anything different, the same people that put them in are going to take them out.
You're right. The point of the issue with Iran having nuclear weapons.
They need to have a fueling aircraft on the way.
Yeah, the fuel in midair.
Right. Oh, and guess what? The aircraft need to land somewhere to bring
Put new bombs on it,
new
yeah.
bombs on them.
Exactly.
Guess what? There is partners to that. I wonder who is the partner.
Yeah, I wonder what aircraft carrier they're landing on to get those bombs.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Israel doesn't have any aircraft carriers, and only a couple of countries in the world have them. The United States, Russia, China, and I think that's pretty much it, pretty sure.
I think that Europe also have one.
The UK?
I think so.
They have two.
I mean, the UK main, I don't think Australia, does Australia have any check, do you know?
No, Australia has no aircraft carriers, but the UK have two aircraft carriers.
There you go. So I doubt it's the UK. I doubt it's China.
India has it. Australia does have aircraft carriers. Russia, Spain, Japan, and France.
No, Australia doesn't. It's a fake thing. My brother served in the Australian Armed Forces. We don't have any aircraft carriers. They're called destroyers, if I'm not mistaken, but it's not an aircraft carrier.
No, you're right. I read that.
It doesn't matter. The point is that I was trying to make is it's not going to be any of those countries. No one country that would allow that to happen.